Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on social listening, what, why, and how. Just a couple housekeeping items. If you have any questions during the webinar, go ahead and mouse over the Q&A button and type in your question, and we will try to get to it at the end of the webinar. Also, to let you know, this will be posted on our website, inspiredhomeshow.com/education. Within 48 hours. Today we'll be speaking with Vice President of Account Strategies, Justin Tadych, and Social Media Specialist, Amberly Perry from EPower. From product feedback to competitor research, you'll learn how listening to what your target audience is saying about your brand on social media can help you identify market opportunities, improve your current product line, and address customer concerns in a timely manner. In the form of social moderation, social listening also helps drive engagement with your customers and builds your brand's online reputation. You'll also be provided with helpful social listening tools within the most popular social platforms and tips for getting started. And right now, we'll go ahead and welcome Justin.
Thanks, Tina. Appreciate that. As Tina said, my name is Justin Tadych. I'm the Vice President of Account Strategies at EPower at Home. A little bit about myself here. Just over the last 16 years, I've had the pleasure of being fully immersed in the world of digital marketing, working with hundreds of brands across multiple verticals on the agency side. In the last 5 years or so, I've turned that focus to helping housewares brands, big and small, with their digital marketing strategies. And presenting with me for EPower at Home is one of our social media specialists, Amberly Perry. Amber, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, that'd be great.
Thanks for that intro, Justin. Hi, everyone. My name is Amberly, and I've been involved in social media marketing for about 4 years. I also have experience in content marketing and event planning for businesses in various industries. I started working for EPower at Home at the beginning of this year, and I've really been enjoying applying my experience and knowledge to the housewares industry.
Thanks, Amberly. I'd also like to thank the International Housewares Association for this opportunity to be part of the 2020 Smart Talks webinar series. It's always a pleasure to present these, and we love being invited back. Now that you know a bit about the presenters, I'd also like to just do a very brief intro about EPower at Home. EPower at Home is a full-service digital marketing agency for the home and housewares brands, and we've actually been IHA's digital marketing partner since 1999. As a partner of the IHA, we do a lot of things around the course of the year to support the members and the association. Not only do we run the social media and help with the digital marketing efforts for the Inspired Home show, while at that show, we also end up managing the social media and digital marketing center in the Grand Concourse, which has given us a ton of great opportunities to meet with housewares brands and professionals through the years to talk about strategy, digital marketing, and just offer advice, whether it's startups or you've been in the housewares industry for 100 years. It's always a pleasure to talk to brands. EPower at Home is actually the first boutique digital marketing agency that's solely dedicated to helping housewares brands succeed online. So we really love what we do, and we love the housewares industry. We're especially excited to be here today to talk to you all about social listening and how it can help your brand's social media efforts and how it can be an integral component in your overall marketing strategy. We'd like to thank you again for tuning in today. And with that, I'll end my spiel and kick things off with Amberly.
Alrighty, thanks, Justin. So today's webinar is focused on the what, why, and how of social media listening. We're going to discuss what social listening is, explain why it's important for your housewares brand, and let you know how you can get started. If you're in the initial phases of creating your social listening plan, or even if you've never heard of the term social media listening, you're in the right place. We're here to walk you through it and make it simple for you. So let's start with the what. What is social listening? Social listening is the practice of identifying useful trends and insights about your brand, your competition, and your industry from conversations happening on social media. You can use social listening to discover opportunities for improvement and innovation within your social media strategy, as well as to connect and engage with your target audience in an effective and genuine way.
That's right. And it's more important than you may realize. Brands like yours have been trying to gauge the opinions of customers and gather consumer data with surveys forever. The technology of social listening now means you don't have to prompt or to solicit people for their opinions and data anymore. People are already talking about you online. You just need to find and listen to them.
Exactly. Listening makes it easier than ever for brands to understand what their customers think about their products. So let's dive right in. All right, so social listening involves three main components: monitoring conversations online, analyzing the collected information, and acting based on the gained insights. So we're going to break down each of the three main components for you. So the first step of social listening is monitoring. Monitoring is the method of looking for mentions of your brand, products, hashtags, and competitors across social channels. It also involves all methods of social media communication, including direct mentions, indirect mentions, messages, comments, reviews, and so on. Monitoring will also help you identify trending industry topics and conversations that matter to your target audience. This is especially helpful when it comes to utilizing curated content in your social strategy, as you'll actually have data to back up your decisions about what topics will resonate and be valuable to your followers. Monitoring conversations about your brand online is critical to effective social listening and your overall social media strategy, as it will both inspire and inform your social content, your brand, and your products. So the second step of social listening is analyzing the insights that you gain from monitoring your channels. Analyzing these insights will help you gain a better understanding of how people feel and talk about your brand and your industry on social media, and more importantly, what you can do to meet the demands of your consumers. From your analysis, you may discover answers to some of the following questions. What do people love about your brand? What are they unsatisfied with? What's trending in the housewares industry? In addition to figuring out how people think about your brand, your analysis should also help you answer the 4 W's: who, what, when, and where, about conversations surrounding your brand online. So who's talking about your brand, your competitors, and the industry? What are they talking about? And when and where are they talking about it? People use social media as an avenue to express their true feelings and thoughts. How they feel and think about your brand is no exception. Analyzing the insights from monitoring your social media accounts will help you understand what consumers want from you. So analyzing the data collected from monitoring your social pages is absolutely critical to the third and final part of social media listening, which is taking action. So the insights gained from monitoring and analyzing activity around your brand and your industry will help you make informed decisions when engaging in conversations on social. This could be anything from responding to a negative review, engaging with a playful comment on a post, replying to a message from a potential customer, or responding to a Twitter thread about a housewares topic. When engaging in conversations about your brand or industry on social, remember to be a part of the online conversation, not the subject of it. Social media is not the place to be overly promotional about your products. On a similar note, whenever necessary, be sure to direct your audience to the best method for addressing their question or concern. A few examples include directing them to a certain social channel, a specific web page, a customer support email address, etc. Social listening can also help you make informed decisions about your overall social media strategy, such as when you're writing content, brainstorming your next campaign idea, or determining what your paid social efforts should be. So to put it all together, social listening is the process of tracking, analyzing, and responding to online conversations surrounding your brand or the housewares industry. So now that you know what social listening is, let's discuss why it's important for a successful social media marketing strategy and your overall marketing efforts.
Social listening has a wide range of importance. Amber Lee is going to cover why social listening is important to your overall social media marketing strategy in the upcoming slides. But the impact of social listening goes well beyond just social media. Social listening is a crucial component of your audience research. If you know your audience, you can understand how to market to them better. You can adjust your digital advertising budgets, pivot your search engine optimization strategies to get ahead of the competition, or can even help you fill in the content gaps on your website. Social listening can also help deliver a better return on investment, even from your influencer campaign. So social listening it transcends marketing. Knowing your audience can impact product, price, package design. It can help you better capitalize on trends. The list is really long and I digressed a bit, but I'll kick it back over to Amber Lee here to discuss the benefits of social listening for your social media strategy.
Thanks, Justin. So, unlike the early days of social media, simply having a social media profile and posting, X number of times each month into the void isn't good enough anymore. Consumers follow brands on social media to show their support, share their experiences, and participate in a larger online community, and you need to be a part of it. In fact, about 1/5 of consumers say that they follow a brand on social media in order to communicate with that brand. Rather than impersonal marketing pitches about your products or services, consumers are seeking educational, entertaining, or analytical social content that resonates and compels them to engage with or share that content with their own followers. They also want you to respond quickly when they reach out to you on social media. Creating business social media profiles and posting periodically without ever checking mentions, comments, reviews, etc. eliminates you from that online conversation and that community and prevents you from learning valuable insights about your brand. Whether you're listening or not, consumers are having conversations about your brand online, and in most cases are trying to communicate directly with you to tell you what they want. If your brand is on social media, you must monitor, listen to, and engage with your followers to be competitive in the landscape. So we've identified 4 main benefits of social media listening to discuss today. So let's get to it. So the first benefit is discovering topics your audience cares about. Similar to our personal relationships, we can build better relationships with our customers when we take the time to listen. Social media listening allows you to discover topics that your audience cares about, which will help you create a relevant content, target your paid social media efforts, and improve your overall marketing strategy. For example, maybe you're offering a sale on a type of product that's currently trending on Instagram. That could be a perfect opportunity to promote an organic post, run a social ad, and write a few social posts around the topic. To provide you with a real-life example, one of our recent clients is a brand new company that specializes in reusable insulated food and drinkware. The brand's reusable food container and its ability to keep food warm for several hours was a main focus of their marketing efforts. So as we began to grow their social media presence, we received a lot of comments across their social channels with questions about how the food container actually kept food warm for so long. Like, how does it work? So it was clear to us that consumers wanted more information about how the product actually worked to help them with their purchasing decision. Of course, this request for additional information came as no surprise. According to an ODM group study, 74% of consumers rely on social networks to help with their purchasing decisions. After noticing this trend from the client's followers across social media, we made a recommendation for the client to create a quick video that just explained the design behind the insulated food container and a basic explanation of how it actually maintained that temperature and how it actually worked. So that's a perfect example of why you should set aside time regularly to research trending topics on social within your industry and on your brand to determine which topics will best resonate with your audience. So a few ways to do this include searching for hashtags on Twitter and Instagram, browsing your business newsfeed on Facebook, utilizing the content feature on LinkedIn, and then of course, daily moderation of your social channels. So the second benefit of social listening is the opportunity to genuinely engage with your current and your prospective customers. Think of social media channels as another opportunity to engage with your customers like you would in person or over the phone. When someone engages with one of your social posts, you should always respond, even if it's a simple thank you or an emoji that fits the context. Why is this important? Because your customers expect you to respond. According to marketing charts, a majority of consumers, 74%, say that when they follow a brand, they reach out for customer service or support on social media. So consider this. Your product is sitting on a shelf in Target, and a customer is having trouble locating your item. The customer approaches a Target associate and asks about the location of the product. Would you want the associate to simply ignore the customer and walk away? I hope not, right? Think of social media customer service in a similar way. Customers want to have real, authentic conversations with brands on social media, and social listening provides the opportunity to do just that. Conversations aren't one-sided, and your social media efforts shouldn't be either. Proving that you are there, you are listening, and you are willing to help will build trust among your customers, ease skepticism from prospective customers, and boost engagement rates across your social channels. So in addition to engaging with your customers and prospects, social listening may also help you find user-generated content, which is huge for online consumers. According to HubSpot, 76% of consumers say content from past buyers influences their purchase decision. So for example, one of our clients is an above-ground pool liner company. Their customers are understandably extremely cautious about rips, tears, and holes in the pool liners. So one of our main focuses is reassuring customers about the quality of the product. I was recently monitoring their social media accounts when a customer reached out to me about his recent purchase. He had ordered the wrong liner and needed help correcting the situation. After forwarding his information to our client's customer service team, I asked him to send a photo of his new pool liner after it was installed. And he was so grateful for my help that he promised he would. Well, a few weeks later, I received the photo and posted it on Facebook. After seeing the post, the customer liked it, commented on it, and shared it on his own page with his own followers. It quickly gained more engagement than other recent posts on this client's page. So seeing photos or videos from satisfied customers really makes potential customers feel reassured about their online purchasing decisions. So for the housewares industry specifically, consider creating a social media campaign to collect user-generated content, such as the photo of this pool liner. Ask your followers to submit a photo of them using your product or a picture of their product in your home, and to include a branded hashtag in their posts. These types of campaigns are very popular on social, especially on Instagram. So if someone is taking the time to engage with your brand online, take the time to respond. If a customer is proud enough of their purchase to share it online, ask for their permission to share it on your own social channels. Your customers will notice and appreciate your efforts to engage with them. So the third benefit is the ability to manage potential crises and find pain points. So positive engagement on social media is great, but negative engagement can cause serious damage to your brand's reputation. Unfortunately, social media is a very popular place for unsatisfied customers to express their frustrations. So it's important to view complaints as opportunities rather than a threat that should be avoided. Remember, always respond. Social listening can prevent harmful situations from spiraling out of your control or help you improve products based on valid customer feedback. Monitoring enables you to quickly identify and address any negative feedback on your social channels, including comments, messages, direct mentions, etc., before the situation escalates. Perhaps a customer leaves a negative comment on one of your Facebook posts complaining that their order arrived damaged. This is a perfect opportunity to publicly address their complaint and privately follow up with them to rectify the situation. You could easily respond with something like, "Oh no, we're so sorry to hear this. We'll be more than happy to send you a replacement. We sent you a private message to get the process started." Displaying your responsiveness and initiative to fix the problem publicly, while also taking care of the situation privately, will help build trust with your current and your prospective customers. So I have another example for you here. So effective social listening and problem solving can also turn dissatisfied customers into brand advocates. And brand advocates are incredibly useful on social media. 71% of consumers who have a good social media experience with a brand are likely to recommend it to others. So this is an example from one of our clients. Marie here had an issue with her pool liner and reached out to us on Facebook with a public comment. She was obviously unhappy with the situation. Because we moderate our clients' social media accounts daily, we caught this right away before the situation escalated, and we were able to make the situation right for Marie. On her own accord, Marie followed up and left a glowing review on the client's page, insisting she would recommend the company to everyone she knows. Without social listening, the situation could have ended differently, with both an unhappy customer and a damaged online reputation for the client. Think of social listening as an extension of your customer service department and treat it as such. Always respond and do your best to respond in a timely manner. So the fourth and final benefit we'll discuss today is learning from your competition, both the good and the bad. Monitoring your competition is one of the key ways to improve your social media strategy and generate new ideas for your brand. When monitoring, ask yourself the following questions. What's working well in their social media strategy? In other words, what are they doing right? Which types of posts are getting the most engagement? What topics do their audience resonate with and respond to? How do they engage with their followers? Perhaps one of your top competitors just executed a highly successful social media campaign that attracted a lot of attention. On the flip side, maybe they posted about a certain topic that offended their customers or put their brand in a negative light. You can use these insights to your advantage. For example, if one of your competitors continuously receives negative feedback about a product similar to yours, social listening can help you identify that issue and be proactive about it. Let your target audience know how your product is superior when it comes to their specific pain points. So here's a snapshot of a competitor analysis that we performed for one of our clients. The analysis highlighted which types of posts were performing well on their competitors' social accounts, as well as how their posts were being engaged with, and gaps in their current social media strategy, or in other words, opportunities for our client to do it better. Monitoring your competition will provide you with opportunities to distinguish your brand and learn from the wins and losses of others, as well as new ideas for marketing strategies and campaigns. So now that you know what social listening is and why it's important, we have some quick tips on how to get started, as well as some free tools to help you out. So it's always important to identify a goal behind any change to your social media strategy. So that's going to be our first tip. Determine what you hope to achieve through social listening, or in other words, what you want to learn, and build your plan around that goal. For example, maybe you want to use social listening to better understand your target audience. If you want more impactful marketing, perhaps you'll have a goal of utilizing social listening to help you create a buyer persona. We'll touch on this specifically later in our discussion. So once you figure out what you want to accomplish through social listening, it's time to come up with questions to help you find the information you're looking for. So create a list of questions you'd like to answer through social listening to use in your future social posts, because you know that that is what your consumers are looking for. These questions should be based on the goals you set for your social media strategy. So a few examples include: what products are trending? What features matter most to consumers? What needs are consumers most concerned about? What information do consumers want before making a decision to purchase your product? Craft evergreen social posts that answer these questions to highlight how your product's features address customer concerns and compare to industry leaders. Here at EPower, we also use the answers to these questions in our content strategies to drive even more traffic for our clients. So there are a wide variety of social listening tools, free and paid, to assist with your social media efforts. So that's our final tip. Paid tools such as NetBase, BrandWatch, and Crimson Hexagon are an ideal fit for established brands with a generous marketing budget. We've used these tools with some clients in the past, and they offer a ton of valuable data and insights to help track, monitor, and analyze brand-focused conversations online. Free tools also offer plenty of valuable data and are perfect for smaller or newly established brands with a more modest marketing budget. There is no one-size-fits-all tool for every housewares brand, so for today's session, we're going to highlight some of our favorite easy-to-use free tools to help you get started. So the first one is going to be Google Alerts. So offered through Google, Google Alerts will monitor the web for results such as web pages, articles, and blogs based on the search terms that you indicate in the box here on the screen. So whenever new results are found, Google compiles them into a list and emails them to you periodically based on the frequency you selected, such as once a day or once a week. Google Alerts is also a great tool for keeping up to date on trending industry topics and news in a general sense. So the second tool we're going to highlight today is Social Mention. Social Mention is a social media search and analysis platform that collects content from across social media channels and neatly displays them into a single stream of information that's easy for you to read. Simply enter a search term to get a personalized web page of relevant articles, as well as stats on that topic's sentiment, top keywords, top hashtags, and even more. This platform will allow you to easily track and measure topics surrounding your brand, competitors, and your industry on social. So the final tool we'll cover today is TweetDeck. TweetDeck is a tool specifically for Twitter and is ideal for collecting and analyzing a ton of information all at once, because Twitter has a lot of information. Simply type a search term in the search box, and TweetDeck displays potentially relevant search topics and user accounts from across Twitter. So it's great for finding topics and for monitoring your competitors all in one. If you select one of the suggested search terms, you'll be given the option to browse user profiles or tweets related to that specific search topic. So using a combination of these three free tools are the perfect way to get started with social listening before you're ready to upgrade to a paid tool with more advanced features and search capabilities. So we've covered a lot of information. So I'm going to give you a quick recap before we wrap things up and get to questions. So social media listening involves three parts: monitoring for mentions, keywords and hashtags related to your brand, your competitors, or the housewares industry, analyzing the information and insights gathered from monitoring conversations across social media, and finally acting on those insights by engaging in conversations about your industry, brand, and products, and adjusting your social media content and your overall social media strategy to remain relevant and valuable in the landscape. When you first adopt social listening into your social media strategy, define your goals for social listening, create a list of questions you would like to answer through social listening for future content, and use free social listening tools to make the task easier and more organized. So we hope that this webinar has helped you realize that social listening should be an integrated part of your social media and overall marketing strategies. The benefits of social listening will have a rippling effect on the rest of your marketing efforts.
That's right, Amberly. Integration is key. Using a tactic like social listening can not only impact your social efforts, it can have a huge impact on your overall business, marketing, and even product development. So one of my favorite examples of this impact that social listening has comes from Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Ben & Jerry's used the methodology that Amberly presented above to gather data and make what they thought was informed decisions about social media posting. With that data, they then chose to amplify their decisions with advertising, allocating the largest portion of their ad budget during peak seasons that were denoted by warmer temperatures and more active days outside. Their theory was that when it's hot, more people want ice cream. It seemed like common sense, right? If it's hot, people want ice cream. If people want ice cream, let's advertise and capitalize on that. Unfortunately, that's not how it played out. This common sense theory couldn't be applied across the entire Ben & Jerry's target market. To apply the theory correctly, Ben & Jerry's actually had to combine their social listening with one more source, that source being the weather forecast. When they combine those two sources, social listening and the weather forecast, Ben & Jerry's uncovered that unlike their original theory that when it rains, less people would want ice cream, or when the weather was bad, no one wants ice creams, it was actually the opposite of that. In reality, a lot of people still want an ice cream to support their Netflix and chill habits. This insight gleaned from social listening opened up more marketing possibilities for Ben & Jerry's. They actually even took it a step further and even created a flavor just for this purpose called Netflix and Chilled. So summing up, Ben & Jerry's expanded their marketing opportunities and introduced a new product. And this would not have been possible without social listening. Ben & Jerry's actually can even take this a step further by applying what they learned to a new or existing customer persona. As I noted earlier, brands have been doing surveys, focus groups, and other means of traditionally asking for consumer data for years. And with the social listening, that information is now at your fingertips. Use it not only to impact your social strategy, but also to truly understand your audience and the consumer. This should be at the heart of your marketing. You need to know what makes your audience tick, what motivates them to buy, what lifestyles they're trying to curate, and what causes really speak to them. We've got some stats here on why it actually matters that you understand your audience. And I know in the housewares industry, price is always something in contention. But statistics show that by the end of 2020, customer experience will actually overtake price and product as the key brand differentiator. Your audience becomes human, and your marketing efforts just overall become more effective. Social listening is just a big component of understanding your customers. If you don't listen to them, you won't be able to paint an accurate picture or representation of them. If you can't do that, you aren't effectively marketing to them. If you aren't effectively marketing to them, your digital marketing strategy is falling short. Remember, a digital marketing strategy is less about which channels and tactics you should be using and more about connecting with and impressing digital shoppers at every stage of their buyer's journey. You need to be more visible and more memorable than the competition. Social listening can help you accomplish just that. So you're in business to sell products, but who are you selling them to? What do you want to be using your product? Or who do you want to be using your products? Who's going to love your products the most? I mean, you could sell without giving much thought to those questions, but you can achieve better margins by marketing and budgeting more effectively. In essence, you can sell more products and differentiate yourself from your competitors by truly knowing your audience. And if you've listened to any of EPower at Home's webinars before, you've heard us talk about the value of marketing personas. If you've subscribed to our newsletter or looked at our blog, it usually hits once a month about the importance of marketing personas. In this webinar, we're just including a generic example of what a marketing persona looks like. This generic marketing persona has several areas highlighted in yellow. social listening can be a key driver in grabbing that information highlighted in yellow to help you better understand your target market and to help you create a better buyer persona. While there is more than social listening involved in creating those personas, paying attention to your potential customers is a good start to acquiring a new customer. So as discussed throughout the presentation, social listening is not only an integral part of your social media marketing strategy, it can also be a key driver of marketing, product, and overall business decisions. The right social listening strategy can drive opportunity. To help housewares brands take advantage of this opportunity, EPower at Home is offering a free, no obligation social media audit. Whether you feel like you're playing catch up with it when it comes to your brand's digital social marketing, or you're just ready for a fresh perspective on your current strategy, we're here to help. So feel free to claim it now by visiting our website in the link on the deck, or we'll also send out a free offer to attendees via email after this is over.
All right, thanks, Justin. So listening to your customers, your competitors, and industry conversations are critical to informing and strengthening your activity on social media and your overall social media strategy. We hope that you found this presentation valuable, and with that, we've walked you through the what, the why, and the how of social listening. Again, thank you all so much for your time, and we're going to turn things back over to Tina.
Thank you so much, Amberly and Justin, for your presentation. We did have a couple questions, and we do have a little bit of time, so I'm going to get started on those questions. The first question comes, and she's asking, what are your thoughts on using Repost to share posted information, comments, photos on our products?
I'll take this one. I think that by reposts, she's referring to curated content or content from users.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. That's what I touched on earlier. If you can find any content online that of your product from another user, you should definitely use that. It's a great way to encourage other consumers to buy your product and help other consumers feel like they should be buying your product. But the one cautionary thing is you always need to reach out to that social media user beforehand and get approval. You have to think of it similarly like, you wouldn't just take a few sentences from a book and, copy it on your social media profile without giving it any credit. You kind of have to think of it as the same way. So just like I did in my example earlier with Jim with the pool liner, I asked him, hey, if you share a photo, I'd love to share it online. Is that okay with you? And he gave me approval to do so. So as long as you get approval from the user, that's a great idea to showcase your products and show your target audience, why your product is a good fit for them.
Okay, thank you for that. The next question, how do I know if I should be using a free or a paid social media tool?
Yeah, so I'll start and then Justin can jump in. So the first thing you should really think about is, where are you in your social listening strategy? Are you just getting started? Or have you been doing this for a while and you just tuned into this presentation to kind of get some help? Another thing to look at is your budget. Do you have a large marketing budget or do you have a more modest marketing budget? For example, if it's going to be $5,000 a month for you to have one of these social listening tools, is that really worth the investment? Or is it better to just use that $5,000 elsewhere to help you gain more clients? So really looking at where you are within your social media strategy, what your budget is and what your capabilities are a really good place to start figuring that out. And I don't know if you have anything else to add, Justin. But
no, I think that covered it well, Amberly. I think it depends where you are as a brand too. I mean, if you're ready to scale your efforts substantially, a paid tool can have a big impact on those scaling efforts. But if you're just a startup or you're just launching, the paid tools are going to help you get the job done as long as you follow the guidelines that Amberly put in front of you and make sure you use it on a continual basis. We've had clients that invest $5K a month in the expensive paid tools and just don't use them, So our conversation quickly turns to how they could be more effectively using that budget that they're investing in social listening. So yeah, great comments.
Okay, here's another question. What are some examples of the wrong way to engage in conversations on social media?
Right, so you have to think of your conversations on social as, like I said, a customer service interaction. So a wrong way to approach, let's say a customer has a complaint, you don't want to argue with them, you don't want to be disrespectful to them, and you certainly don't want to ignore them, because there are people who will come back and just spam your page with negative comments. So you always want to take the high road, you always just want to keep customer service top of mind and just be helpful. Be helpful, and that's really your best bet. But also, we're going to take it in a different train of thought here. So if you're just participating in a conversation about housewares brands online, so let's say in a Twitter feed, or you're commenting on an Instagram post, don't spam your products or your brand. That's not what you're here for. Social media is here to help you be a part of a conversation. So don't respond to a Twitter thread with a link to your new product or a promo code or something. Just genuinely be part of that conversation, and people will see your brand, they'll see your profile account on the social media platform. So it's then up to them to click on your profile, learn more about you, which they're probably more willing to do if you didn't make them feel like you were trying to spam them with your brand or products to begin with. So be respectful, and as I said earlier, be a part of the conversation. Do not make your brand the subject of it.
Okay, that's great, great feedback. The next question reads, how often should I do social monitoring, and how much time should I spend on it?
Yeah, so we monitor our clients' social accounts daily. And depending on how much time is needed, we spend about 15 minutes to a half hour every day just looking for comments, mentions, reviews, things like that, but then also doing the listening side of it by tuning in to their business news feeds or relevant hashtags to participate in those conversations. So it's going to take time. Expect to at least tune in and moderate every day. You should also be, engaging in those conversations every day, especially on specific channels like Twitter and Instagram that are much more active than, let's say, maybe Facebook. So it does take time, and you should expect to do that time, or to spend that time every day. But I would say about 15 minutes to 30 minutes every day, and then analyzing and acting. The two second parts of social moderation are obviously, those are kind of just built in throughout your social strategy throughout the month.
Okay. Another question, do you have to have an active account on the social media channel you want to use for listening? And I think, does that mean personal or?
Business, yeah.
Okay, business, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, I'll start with this, and I know Justin has some more to add on to here, but so for a business, you don't need an account to do social listening. You can tune into Instagram, Facebook, Twitter without having a profile, but obviously having a profile allows you to do social listening a lot better. And on top of that, social listening can also help you identify where you should have an account. So for example, if you're monitoring Twitter, you're monitoring hashtags that are on Twitter that are related to the housewares industry. If your brand is being talked about a lot, but you don't actually have a Twitter account, that's a perfect opportunity for you to identify, hey, I should have a Twitter account. Same thing for Instagram. If one of your competitors has a beautiful Instagram account that's getting a lot of engagement, they have all these beautiful pictures of their photos, that's a perfect opportunity for you to also, piggyback kind of off of their success. It's a perfect example for you. So Justin, I don't know if you have anything else to throw in there.
You covered most of the points there, Amberly. One of the questions we typically hear a lot from house first brands, especially when we're at the show or in consultations with them, is what social channel should I be on, right? Where I'm on all these social channels, am I doing it right? So the buyer and marketing personas are going to help those that are just launching help answer some of those questions. But social listening is going to help you fine tune that strategy. So as Amberly talked about. If you only have the time and resources to effectively be on Instagram or Facebook, but then your social listening is turning up a whole bunch of opportunities on Pinterest, well, that gives you some ammo to go back to your boss or your agency or one of your vendors and say, hey, what's it going to take to take advantage of the social listening so we can develop a strategy and integrate the rest of our marketing so that Pinterest now becomes a part of the equation. So yes.
Okay, we had one more question and then we'll wrap it up. What is the best source to find social media habits when developing our marketing personas?
I'll turn that one over to you, Justin.
Could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, what is the best source to find social media habits when developing our marketing personas?
Yeah, so there's all kinds of data involved in developing a buyer persona. It's a great question. Some of the data that our team uses is obviously we've been in the industry for since 1999, helping housewares brands out, but using your analytics data, using your existing social media data, or just looking back and relying on your customer profiles that you've created in your sales process. Those are a couple ideas. Actually, EPower at Home has a free resource that helps you guide through those exact questions and those answers that the social department has developed. So if you're interested in developing your marketing persona, feel free to send myself or Amberly an email, and we actually have a free resource that we can send you. Happy to have you guys develop it. And if you have questions after or during the development process, we'd obviously be happy to answer them, as buyer personas are really the crux to understanding your audience and developing that marketing strategy.
Okay, I think that is it for now. We want to thank you again for your great session, and we will be posting this on our website, theinspiredhomeshow.com/education, within the next 48 hours. So thank you both for your time, and hopefully you guys will get some emails, and thank you. That's it.
Thank you for the opportunity, Tina.
Okay, everyone have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.